Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft, and here with your hosts, Blackjack and Baba Gusta, and of course, our admin, Eisen, as we are here for the final game of Division 2, Day 5. That is right. Day 5, of course, we didn't quite get to have all the matches on stream, but we did have the Jittervuya game earlier today where they made a bit of a comeback against Red Vipers, going from 1-5 to 8-7. And now we'll have Team L2K versus Clickbait as well, which will be going live on the screens right now, in fact, on the map of Oregon, to see where these two teams that take us on this ever so reliable and ever so very highly played map. Ace, of course, being the first man from the side of Clickbait right there, not really too surprising. Live to Kill, of course, have the second ban on tonight's map. But that's not the biggest news of the night. The biggest news of the night is this is post-patch Year 5 Season 4.3. That means there's been a few changes to existing operators, right there. Like, for instance, Buck. He's got more ammo in his skeleton key now, and of course, he has a secondary hard breach gadget. So Buck just became a little bit better as a solo operative. Of course, Kali has had quite the debatable change done to her. It's mostly being nerfed, mostly being touted as a nerf, and I kind of have to agree. But of course, it's a bit of a complicated change. Won't get into it here. Some scopes being removed, some secondary gadgets being changed around. But most importantly, Zofia and Ella no longer have hidden mechanics, i.e. withstand and the resistance to concussives. None of that, of course. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to quite go live with the game just yet, ladies and gents. We do apologize, but we're going to have to use the pause timer primarily because Noxy from the side of Clickbait, excuse me, disconnected while we were in the ban phase. I'm sure our viewers saw that. So we are just going to have to wait and watch for him to come back. We know that you're all waiting for this action to see if Clickbait can put a point on board for themselves, while L2K, of course, they'll be looking to secure their position and make it into stone that they will head into Division 1 going to the next season. Of course, excuse me, whether or not it can happen is yet to be seen. And do excuse me if I'm like half coughing a bit too much. It seemed to have caught something in my throat. But anyway, point notwithstanding, it's going to be a great game. And I have to say, Baba, given what we've seen so far from both teams, Clickbait going up against L2K at this juncture of the season, it's a crucial game already. But is it going to be even tougher now that they're going up against this team?
Well, I mean, always, start up a conversation by starting off saying, well, kind of, talking about
Well,
clickbait. Maybe clickbait has, some chance that they might be able to take out L2K, but the recent matches that we do see from clickbait says that they still need to figure out something here because currently they've lost 3 matches as of now, and they have a negative 14 round conversion rate, and they are all the way to the bottom of the standings here, 8th position. If they do, however, lose 1 or 2 more, they are going to get relegated here from the Div 3, especially in Season 5. Being in Div 3 is might be difficult though for Team Clickbait, knowing that they did had some good amount of performances been happening in Division 3. Unfortunately, it starts to fall down when they went up against VPGL 2K and maybe Dauntless Esports, though, where Clickbait didn't had any ideas on how to basically counter or just play. But hopefully going up against L2K might be a good challenge for them. But talking about my prediction wise, I think L2K is just going to go for at least go for a bit of a 7-3. I don't want to be extreme aggressive here saying that they're going to go with 7-0. I do think that Clickbait might get 1 or 2 rounds, but other than that, it might go for 7-3.
Well, 73 will certainly be quite interesting, all things considered, as we are just still, excuse me, they're waiting for Noxy to join back and Clickbait to, allow us to continue, at least get started with the match. We did have the bans, of course. We didn't quite talk about the bans because we were discussing the changes that have happened in this patch. I guess in a way, this pause timer gives us more time to reflect on the changes and whatnot that have been happening. I, for one, kind of expect a bit more Buck play now that he has that secondary hard breach gadget, because taking away his frags definitely hurt his pick rate and gave Sledge a lot more reason to be picked, because not only do you have soft breach, you have frag grenades. Those are essential for a lot of things. And a secondary hard breach gadget, especially when your hard breaches are down, or say you forgot to even bring one and you realize, wait a minute, Buck now has that gadget. He can do both soft and hard breach. It's a little bit more reason to play that operator, and that will certainly make for a very interesting set, if you will, should Buck get played, of course. But again, speculations and whatnot aside, the patch has just dropped, and whatever changes have taken effect will take time to sort of really take hold. But what won't take hold? Us going into this match will take time to take hold, actually. Noxie is back, and so is the match. The pause timer has been unpaused, and round one on second floor kids' dorms in dorms main hall will be underway with a couple of very interesting six picks right there. Mellow with the Jackal, not really too surprising. However, you have the Frost being brought in by Nox. That's not exactly a pick you see too often, especially when it comes to the higher tiers of the Pro League, but that's something I would be saying, with a bit more confidence a few seasons ago. I can't exactly say that for season 4, because we have seen a lot of Frost play when it comes to Oregon top floor. I can't really say that I disagree with that. Her secondary shotgun, the ITA-12S, certainly quite a good shotgun, if you will, for making rotates and in super close super close quarter encounters. I completely butchered that on the first try, but in those situations, you will find yourself using that shotgun. If you really commit to it, it will give you good rewards, and that is something, of course, that Clickbait are gonna have to try and rely on today, as in commit to the bit to get the reward. It's L2K again. We don't really want to be too harsh to Clickbait, but just like Baba said, there are more chances of L2K walking away with a fairly emphatic win, if you will. A 7-3 is probably going to be what I, sort of softly my prediction as well for this game. It's certainly more possible, but you have the potential first kill right now. No, he misses and gets taken out. Unfortunate, but Luxia wanted to get a piece of Mellow. Will it be taken down instead? Big drop as your Jaeger is gone, and now you have the breach coming in towards the main tower wall. Of course, there's a mute jammer, and Fatals knows this, so Blank will have to go in and get the soft breach done from below, make sure that he gets those mute jammers, but he has to be mindful. He can't take out too many utilities anymore, seeing as the effective damage range of both Zofia and Asher's breaching rounds have been reduced, both down to 2 and 2.5 meters respectively. As Super King in the meanwhile goes for a gunfight right now, sees the head of the Zofia, can't take it. It's a 5v3 as Lift to Kill take 2 suddenly, but Nos has been down. That was by the Frost. You hear the gun firing, but Lucy goes for a very aggro peek and gets taken down as well. Blank doing work inside of Attic. As Noxie, he's gonna have to hold this for his team. Zam on the other side, the only other supporter in this situation, gets one. Beautiful shot with the SMG-11, and Nos will go down. However, it's a 4v2 at the minute 15 mark, and Clickbait not off to a good start.
Well, with L2K slowly making their way towards the side, Fatals is prepped and ready to go for the plant. C4 will come in to try to take it off, but he did not have that good amount of information, and with the JV will claim the life of Sam. With it, it'll all go down to Noxie. The Frost in a 1v4 situation gets one, needs to find 3 more, and that will not happen. L2K with Melo taking the final kill will be able to give them the win in round 1. Second floor kids, as we take a look at it in the instant replay, we will proceed to round 2, where the site for Team Clickbait is either on second floor kids or on basement laundry. Looks like they'll just go back to second floor kids this time, and hopefully we might be able to see Luxia not going for those peaks again. Although he was pretty confident, he even had good amount of information. Unfortunately, he could not get the headshot, and all Melo had to do was just response back, pre-firing through the windows and get the headshot, taking out Luxia. An early kill from L2K, and also a good clean win finishing this round with having a total of a minute left. As we proceed to the next round, Noxy with a six pick, as he'll be able to shift from the Frost to the Mute. And with it, second four kids will be the site yet again. No difference in operators this time from both the teams, though. The only difference is, I mean, just like Jack said, the impact, actually the impact needs from Zofia and the Ash's breaching charge blast radius has been reduced, I believe, to 2 meters to 2.5 meters. Am I right, Jack?
2 meters for Sophia and 2.5 for Ash, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So talking about these meters, though, this would mainly they mainly did this just to make sure that the defenders who are particularly going for those tricks, they just have to make sure that they wouldn't get hit by a almost direct impact, but still, being at that, area of effect shouldn't be much more of a problem for them. So it's more of like a sigh of relief for the defenders, but still they have to worry about the utilities in which it is placed near the walls, which will get destroyed eventually. But for now, Teddy in towards the armory lockers, he needs to contest in the window in which Nos will be able to find Melusi via the drone. Just needs a confirmation. There you go. He'll be able to spot the leg of Melusi, as she will respond back with one kill and a drone taken off from Nos. A huge play from Teddy. Taking out Nos immediately would give Clickbait a chance to fight back. The exothermic charge, however, will be used to open up walls in towards Attic, as Noxy will take out yet another drone, in which L2K will be facing a bit of problems here. Two drones already gone on the side of L2K. They did open up the walls in towards Attic. They haven't opened up the games room wall just yet, and they have to deal with a Luxia, who's just waiting for a particular attacker to make his play in towards window. All he needs is that information. That information will come into play. Luxia, with a beautiful flank, will be able to take out Melo, which would put them in on a very difficult spot here. 3v5, Melo and Nos taken out. Now they just have to worry about JV, Fatals, and Blank, in which Teddy won't succeed though. JV with a beautiful, kill right in. I believe Teddy decides to go for a run out, but unfortunately it didn't quite work out well. But still, eliminating Teddy is not a good start though for L2K, knowing that they've already lost two players. The C4 deals some major damage to Zam instead, but the Sophia is still alive, thrown in towards Big Tower breached wall. Looks like as we reach the 1 minute mark, the attackers will decide to push in towards Trophy.
Pushing into the trophy, will certainly be a fairly interesting idea from the side of the attack, given that they are at a disadvantage right now. But Blank, I don't think he wants to go for that. He wants to peek somewhere else. Luxia with the double in the meanwhile. It's low on HP, but he's not going to be deterred from making these peeks and plays happen. L2K in the meanwhile, not exactly having a good attack round, being read into and being taken down as Zam from below is waiting to make a play. He doesn't hear the walk away though, as Blank will fall into meeting. Does he know where Zam is? He pings a possible location, but well, he's really just searching. Zam doesn't know either. He will look around and what was that gunfight? I have to say. Fatal takes one in the meanwhile, and Luxia will fire back, refragging a triple for him. And now it's all on to Blank. Last man standing, coming up armory into bedroom. Will he find Noxy? He does, and now it's all down to the Jaeger. Position given away, but Luxia! He'll be the one to win it. And that is Blank off the board. Big play from the man. A quad for him, as he was the one to take the round indeed for his teammate. Team Clickbait doing what they do, reading into their opponents, knowing where the mistakes could be made, and emphasizing very well, as Basement Laundry and Supply Room will now be the side of choice going into the third round. And we're once again seeing a Montaigne pick, but that of course will be a 6 pick out from Mellow. But Vigil, all right, that's a 6 pick as well. I didn't think that would be one, but then again, you might want the Wamai, you might want somebody with a deployable shield, anybody really. Noxy, there we go. He's gonna go for the Mozzie. All right, we got the Mute Mozzie combo coming in, as Basement Laundry and Supply Room will be the side of choice.
Well, there's only one sad news that there won't be a six pick from Melo, but he will stick to the Mountain just for now. Although the Mute Mozzie combo from Team Clickbait will be very efficient and also dangerous for the attackers, because that would deny a lot of information in towards the site. And also, a bit of worry knowing that they might have a total of maybe one or two roamers. You might see Noxy and Luxia into either in towards kitchen or on second floor kids double window, holding in from an angle, making sure that if they arrive at that specific time, they'll be able to flanking at the right moment to get the kill. Now currently, Luxia is just making his placements of ADS that would be in towards the blue with the help of, I believe it's going to be three ADSs. Yep, there you go. Two ADS right from behind the deployable shield and one ADS right in front of it. It's basically how they place those ADS placements. It works out well, works like a charm. But the attackers will be able to read it out pretty well with or without drone works. Now, talking about the secondary gadgets, you still have Hibana, the total of three flashbangs, and so does Blank with two concussive nades, which could be used to deny those ADS and then use it to eliminate it. Luxia will be able to go back in towards the main entrance, and I believe it's going to be the Melusi who's going to be in the second floor who decides to make a play here. Yet again with the bullet hole, Luxia won't be able to find anyone just yet because already two players are inside the building. Actually, inside the big tower. And looks like Blank will be able to deal with some major damage to the smoke gas canister. C4 will come in, and Nos, using the power of Nitrous, he'll be able to fall back. But here comes first kill from Nos, taking out Zam immediately. And Noxy will retaliate back, taking out Nos with that refrag. Putting in a 4v4, taking out Zam would cause a bit, I wouldn't say much more of a problem, but taking out Nos will give much more advantage here for Team Clickbait. As the Mountain pushes in towards the boiler room, will be able to give some valid information to say where exactly Noxy's positioning is. He will be forced back in towards the hallway, whereas Luxia is making his way in towards the big tower. He doesn't have much information, whereas Fatals is doing his magic, taking out two players, and so does Blank, taking out Nuxia. And with it, Teddy Oi is left all by himself, and he has to go in towards basement laundry to attempt a post-plant situation. With the drone was giving the information, they are clear to go in for the plant, and with it, the final kill comes into Blank, taking out Teddy Oi, and with it, L2K will win round 3, basement laundry, with Fatals having 3 kills, whereas Blank gets 2 kills. Round 4, I believe the site will be again basement laundry for Team Clickbait, and I'm just trying to, understand on what exactly happened here. First, I do have to, appreciate Fatals because he used those Excaros pellets to make a line of sight in towards Boiler, which forced the Mozzie to fall back, giving the control of Boilers to the attackers. They slowly pushed in, get those kills. Now, the only counter that they can do as of now is that they would either bring in a mute or bring in the Kaid with the Electroclaws, hide it in a secluded location where the attackers could not find. I mean, they could be able to find it in a drone, but won't be able to see it through their naked eyes, would have a bit of problems trying to open those walls. So bringing in Kaid would be a good option. I mean, bringing in the mute works out well, but still, you have to make sure that the attackers wouldn't have a lot of lines of sight. They should be focused on one particular position so that the defenders could be able to eliminate the attackers one by one. And talking about Clickbait, though, it did work out in second floor kids. Unfortunately, they have to do better than that in basement laundry.
They certainly will have to, given the situation. Clickbait trying to get themselves back into the equalized position. I have to say, Fatals' push going in towards the blue bunker elbow was certainly quite good, forcing the defenders back and making them think that, all right, this is the time that we go for that reinforced fallback. Unfortunately, it was not to be for them. They thought they had it covered. Well, when you have a hard breacher on your team, that is exactly what the defenders really shouldn't be thinking in that situation. Well, whatever, the excuse me, whatever the thought process was for the side of clickbait. It really didn't work out. Mello once again with the Montaigne. Interesting decision, but he knows that there's somebody off to the other side as a gas grenade will go out. Noxy, he's trying to see if he can find him. EMP is going out in the meanwhile to take care of the utilities, but Teddy will just about fall back as shots are fired, and Luxia from Garage takes out Fatals. That is the drop that they were looking for because that is the Hibana of the board. Mello now taking some damage from the right there, from the smokes gas canisters, and he might just be able to make something off of that. Not quite. The Montaigne will fall, not quite back. He's actually pushing up instead, and the reinforcement might just go out. No, there's no reinforcement there. Curious from the side of clickbait. Right now there will be, but that Super King coming in to find JV. 5v3, but Zam's been down in the meanwhile. Will he be confirmed onto? Not quite. Teddy coming in for the revive. No, coming in for the cover. A little too late though. Mello's gonna peek and take him out. 3 versus 4, and Montaigne's pushing up aggressive, and that is not what you want to see as a defender because Montaigne can be very hard to deal with. Teddy, he looked away at the wrong time from backstairs. Nos will get a free pass coming down, and the Montaigne is still pushing. You have Pillar being taken control, but Super King comes in to make plays of his own. Takes another one, and he's gonna get downed. Mello gets a double in the meanwhile as the Montaigne is now the last man standing. Everything's coming his way. And Teddy will be the one to secure the kill. Impact goes out, and the Montaigne has been secured. As the fourth round, is gonna go the way of the defense. Clickbait firing back, this time knowing that the Montaigne will come in, and L2K falling prey to being quite repetitive on 2 rounds now. Round, of course, 2 and 4. And I say that because they have been caught out on those same strategies and ideas by the side of the defense. Clickbait now going to second floor, Kids Dorms and Dorms Main Hall opens up a ton of possibilities for the defense and for L2K, because they will now know that they have been read into and that their idea of pushing the same way against this team won't work out. And that is something that we would have wanted to see from Clickbait earlier in the season. Why do I say that? Well, ladies and gents, Clickbait doesn't have any points in this season. They have unfortunately not won a single game, and that has hurt them very, very badly, to the point where I don't think that there's any chance of them making it out of this season without a relegation. They only have 2 matches after today, and they have to win all 3 while maintaining a fairly decent round conversion rate closer to, say, 0 and 1. So plenty of luck is involved for Clickbait to stay in Division 2. Had this performance, at least this performance consistently, been a thing from the very beginning of the season, they would have had multiple points on board, and they would be in a much better position to stay in Div 2 at the very least. That is the kind of team that Clickbait is. Unfortunately, they just haven't had the best time in the season, and that shows in the leaderboard and the statistics overall. Maybe, just maybe, things could, be turned around. Let's see, right now, watching all the way towards Big Tower. He knows that there will be a push in this area because, Live to Kill and Elliptical likes their hard breaches, and they want to make sure that that area is taken care of. But interestingly enough, there's only one hard breacher, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Luxia has been taken out, and that's from Mello. All right. Big long-range kill from the looks of it. That's a big drop regardless. Super King now in the crosshairs of the Hibana. He won't exactly find where Fatals is. His position is given away. In the meanwhile, he could go in for a peek. Maybe. Potentially. He's just going to fall. Just stand there, actually. Not do a whole lot. As the Hibana will slowly push up. Fatals, his sound is giving away his position, but Super King will go down, and a second kill is confirmed. Fatals going off right now with a double. Can he get a dribble? Not quite. Bearing Knight doesn't quite secure on Noxy. Nox takes a ton of damage, and he will go down because Teddy came in for a flank, and a big flank it was. It's a 4v2 now. Can this be made any better? He could be. Now a 3v2. Teddy's big play could have just made this round for the side of Clickbait. A 2v3, very possible in this situation as we head to the minute 10 mark.
This recovery is essential for Team Clickbait to make sure that they'll be able to recover this round, but their job is not done yet. Teddy needs to contest against the plant in which Fatals is going as of now. He's currently in towards the side. Blank will take care of Noxy, but Teddy actually finds one with the rappel, claims the kill, taking out Mello, gets a triple kill, but he needs to find two more though. And with Fatals, he needs to be careful of the breached wall in which Teddy is currently been pushing, but he has good amount of cover here. Sees the gunshot from Blank, doesn't get the shot just yet. Post plant will come in, but yet another angle will claim the life of Teddy, and with it leave to kill. We'll be able to win round 5. Second floor kids put them in the lead 3-2 as we proceed to round 6. And also, we forgot to mention you guys about season 5 registrations here, ladies and gentlemen. Season 5 registrations are live. If you guys do want to head into the competition, make sure to head to the esports club. Link is in the description. Solos or squads, we have them. All you have to do is to just register for the tournament, and we'll be seeing you guys in the qualifiers phase. So if you guys are interested, make sure to head to the esports club. But for now, with Luxia leading the game, we just have to, put this match into a pause for now. And it's going to be the clickbait yet again, and it's going to be Luxia who just left the round. Talking about Luxia, though, we did get to see some, minor errors in the first half itself, where he was trying to contest against Mello. Didn't work out. Then we did get to see Luxia in round 2, where instead of contesting, he decided to wait for the windows of second floor kids to open so that he'll be able to go for a flank. It did work out. And then in the third, he started to make some wonders. And also, I mean, I to be honest, I just cannot forget about Teddy. The man, he's been making quite a lot of plays, right? Even from the previous round, recovering the round from a 5v3 into a 3v3, it is quite crucial and also necessary, but it was a bit too late because at that time L2K had control on towards the site. He just had to plant. They even had information as to where exactly Teddy location was, and they did get the win. Talking about L2K though, they did win 2 rounds. Second floor kids basement launch, actually 3 rounds. Second floor kids basement laundry and second floor kids again. The only problem that they do have to be careful of is the unpredictability that clickbait had. Just like I talked about, Luxia with the flank, Teddy with the flank. All L2K needs to be careful of right now is they have to, make sure that if there is one particular player who's just watching for flank watch, if they do not, I mean, at least place a claymores or bring in a nomad for those air jabs. I mean, because according to the ban wise, we only see a Blackbeard and an Ace being banned. So bringing in the nomad would be quite efficient, knowing that you will be able to see either Teddy or Luxia going for a flank time and time again. Even gets the recovery of converting it into a 5v3 into a 3v3. We did get to see it twice or thrice, but maybe who knows, L2K might have figured the situation out. And with the 6th pick, we're going to be able to see the Jackal brought in from the Mira as we head on into the game right away. Round 6 will proceed. Second floor kids dorms will be the site, and let's see whether Team L2K has figured out a solution of clickbait's problems.
They certainly could have in this situation. It's very possible for the side of clickbait. They've done it for a couple of rounds now, given that they seem to lose rounds 1 and 3 due to Team L2K outplaying them. But then on 2 and 4, they managed to fire back, and fire back they did, taking it back-to-back rounds, and this time they are in that position again. They did lose the previous round, round 5 on second floor kids, and they're gonna see if they can fire back this round as well, just as they did a couple rounds ago. I know it's a bit of a thing, with me on the cast. I kind of like to address these trends, if you will, and whatnot. But they are things to look at, as Blank will be the first one to go down. Teddy taking an early gunfight, might have just ran out of the building and gotten the kill. That's a big drop indeed, as Blank will be the one to fall. That, excuse me there, is not exactly a good thing for that clickbait. That's a ton of vertical soft breach that has been just taken out by the defenders, and the trade so far is Teddy only being only being on a little bit of HP, not really a whole lot of health remaining on that man. But other than that, not too much. Once again, going for a big peak right now. Video really wants this, as Nos is pushed all the way up to the excuse me, they're all the way up to Trophy alongside the Thermite. Noxy cannot deny the hard breach, however, and they will go off without an issue because the EMPs of the Thermite are still there. Shots are fired, but Melo's gonna be taken and downed all the way from Big Tower. Super King, however, his position is given away, so he will fall back. Melo bleeding out on the roof. He can, of course, be revived, but the drones will find where Teddy Boy is sitting inside of Attic. Fatals looks like he's going for the revive, potentially. I think he is, as that operator is certainly going to be very useful. The Iana is kind of far away, though, and he has to climb onto a different roof to try and get the revive off. Plenty of time to do that, just has to be careful of his cross angles. He will be, pre-fires it a little bit just to make sure that there are no issues, goes in and will get the revive done nice and quickly. So Melo will not be lost to the cause just yet, and with that bedroom breach coming in, Team Clickbait are certainly in for a bout of trouble. But I have to say, Super King was very brave to take that angle all the way. Not Super King, excuse me. Oh yeah, it was Super King. It was very brave to take that angle, but Zam, in the meanwhile, on White Stairs, is, just contesting towards Trophy as he does. SMG-11, we all know, but that's a little unfortunate right there, as Nos will take his head off clean in the meanwhile. Unfortunate, but Fail's going for the plant. Unfortunate, he will get taken down as Nos takes another one. Teddy to fall. The Frost falls, but the Maestro fires back. No multiple kills for him, as Super King finds another one. JV to fall. It's all onto Melo on that big window, and oh dear. I think he may have just missed the timing on that grenade cook a little bit too much. Oh yeah, he definitely missed that. Unfortunate for the man, but that is going to be, as we see in the instant replay, Team Clickbait equalizing 3-3 going into round 7, ladies and gents, as second floor kids dorms and dorms main hall will be the side of choice from L2K, who are now on the defense. And what did we say before? Clickbait, they may lose one round, but they will fire back by reading into exactly what you've done in that previous round. L2K, falling prey to being repetitive on the attack, will not be able to take a lead. 3 rounds on attack on the defender side of the map, though. Pretty good stuff from them as a team. But right now, going into this 7th round, the ball is quite literally in Clickbait's court. They are now in the attack, and they will be the ones to try and make things happen.
Well, in order to make things happen, they just need to make sure that they keep dribbling, making sure that they would counter Clickbait's strategies and make sure that they'll be able to get a good lead. Maybe winning 2 or 3 defending rounds should do the trick here for L2K, but the same thing goes for Clickbait too on the side of attack. I mean, since Teddy Oi and Super King were the ones who were making quite a lot of plays, though, making sure that they'll be able to get those wins as best as possible. They did their job. They did their job well on defense. Let's see how well that they're going to do on attack this time. L2K on defense, the side being on second floor kids, as we proceed to the action phase. I believe the players on the side of Clickbait have been spawned in towards the street, whereas Teddy Oi will be spawned in towards the construction side. Will make his way in towards the big towers, and so does the drone works from the Thermite, giving them vital information. The only difference is the way how Clickbait will engage in a gunfight against L2K. They have 2 nades. They even have a good amount of flashbangs to counter the Vomai's magnets and also the Jaeger's ADSs. The only problem that they have to deal with is Nos, who's currently in towards kitchen. Actually try to go very aggressive. They try to take out the actually not the Zofia. I believe that's going to be Teddy, who was in towards Big Tower, is still trying to get control of the walls in which he needs to open it up. The only problem is Hibana actually has support though. Yes, she has a support from Zam in which he is going to do his drone works as of now, making sure that the entire meeting room is clear so that the Hibana should make her work to open up walls, but it's been halted from the bandit charges. Now, in order to take it out, they have to push in towards meeting room to take it out. But unfortunately, the one who's gonna go out is going to be Super King from Blank with the MP5 in hand. Now, Luxia, he can be able to get the angle here if he goes aggressive. We just need to keep that in mind that he doesn't have a flashbang. The Ash has a claymore as of now, which would give pushing from Ash very difficult. And with the drones giving good amount of information on where exactly Melo is, it's going to be very difficult to engage in a gunfight in a very short close range.
It could be difficult, but then again, knowing LTK, it could not be, but Luxia will make sure it is, as Melo will be the one to fall. Unfortunate for the bandit, but another kill could be secured. Not quite. Luxia peeked. He did go wide, but it was just a little too late. There's somebody hiding behind bomb. There's somebody towards white stairs as well. Blank will throw out an impact grenade. Do quite a bit of damage to Luxia, actually. But the second one does nothing. Unfortunate for the man, as more shots are being traded. Luxia so low on HP. He's still trying to take this gunfight. At some point, you have to respect the commitments to the bit from the man. But Teddy is already inside of attic. Hello, this could be a big play right now. He's going to go in. He's going to peek, get the down onto one as Fatals finds Noxy. But there's another down onto Luxia. That's unfortunate. Shots are being fired. And it's Blank with the pistol trying to do something right now. Teddy jumps in, but no! They will all fall as Live to Kill will take round 7. Unfortunate, but they just found themselves in too many bad spots, trying to take too many 1v1s rather than grouping up and taking them all at the same time. And that late round push could have been just a little bit better. The round could have been clickbaits, but it was not to be. Live to Kill will take another round, put themselves back in the lead. 4-3 is the scoreline. Going into the 8th round as we head to basement laundry and supply room.
Well, with L2K winning their first, round 7 defense, they have to go on a site called Basement Laundry and Supply Room. This time, Melo will bring in the Goyo with a total of 2 Vulcan shields and also a deployable shield. I believe one of them will be placed either in towards boiler room, even at the entrance of blue, where you might see 3 ADSs being placed. That's exactly where I believe that was Jet or Vyuha, where they were on defense. They placed 3 of the ADSs followed up with the Goyo shield right at the entrance of the boiler door. It actually did work out well, especially it was God who was the one who was making a good amount of plays, though, making sure that Jet or Vyuha will get the win. But for now, just trying to focus on L2K strategy here. Those Goyo shields would be useful in towards boiler and also maybe from the place where Smoke used to play, which would see it in the place where, surprisingly, they've reinforced both of the supply room walls. So no of deployable shields will be placed, but instead they'll be able to place one of the deployable shield to hold an angle in towards freezer. Now, Melo, instead of facing it towards the freezer, he's going to place it in towards the basement laundry stairs. A very interesting placement, and also another interesting one, which is in towards freezer. Now, you don't get to see these, Goyo placements in most of the matches. So this is quite new to me here. And L2K is trying to see whether if this placement is going to work out. Again, with the Fatal deployable shield, which is placed in towards the supply room. And that too, it's near in towards the bomb. Yes, they would get good amount of cover, but still getting, the main focus for the attacker is to get control on towards boilers so that they can slowly make their way in towards the site. So I believe from L2K's perspective, this is going to be a turtle hold. Looks like Sam will be able to find one of the operator's foot by scanning their footprints, detecting what kind of operator it is, and also knowing where exactly his location is. Now, with the help of drones, we'll be able to, scan the entire site, know on what exactly their plan is. And actually kind of like this placement, though. You have Melo, you have Blank. Actually, you have Melo watching towards freezer. You have another deployable shield, making sure that you got their flag, you got their back. You have the cover as well, and even if one of the players goes down, an instant refrag will come in. So it is a foolproof plan. The only difference is, can clickbait overcome this obstacle?
Well, if Clickbait are able to overcome this obstacle, they will be all the better for it. Now pushing into Boiler Room. Oh boy, that was a white push that got taken out. Unfortunate, but you had Fatals and Nos, watching that as Zam and Teddy were the ones to fall. Not before they took Mellow though. One down, but four more to go in this 3v4, and the bandit trick just about goes off. Unfortunate. Blank will find another one in the meanwhile. Super King goes down. C4 from JV finds Luxia, and it's all down to Noxy. Last man standing, being pushed from all sides, finds the smoke in the meanwhile, takes one. He has this hard breach to, right there, to play around with. And it seems to be like that's about it. Shots fired towards the hallway as the game has come into an unfortunate standstill. Some pre-fires coming in from the Jaeger's 416. Nos seeing if he can get a rogue headshot, but not quite. Noxy, he's more than content to just sit back and chill. He's also trying to make this push happen. Unfortunately, they didn't quite look towards the bomb, and that's where JV was with the deployable shield in tow, finding the Thermite, finishing off another round for the side of Live to Kill as they will move to round 9, 5-3 up. Team Clickbait on the attack. They are definitely reading into what Live to Kill is doing, but at the same time, their execution isn't quite there because they haven't consolidated around that plan. That idea of action isn't quite there, shall we say. And Live to Kill is taking advantage of that. The gunfight potential could be there only if Clickbait knew what they needed to do, especially in the late round where they seem to fall apart by trying to go for pure gunfights alone. First of all, meeting all in Kitchen will be the side of choice as the Rook gets 6 picked out into the Legion by Blank, and round 9 is a go.
Round 9 is a go indeed with L2K. Currently in the lead, currently in the lead 5-3, and now the site will be in first floor meeting. Now, according to the operator specs, you see Mellow bringing in the Intel anchor operator, the Maestro, the total of 2 Evil Eye cams and an Alda, a very devastating Alda which has an incredible fire rate. All he had to do is to just get information and just go for that pre-fire, because that pre-fire will be deadly and the attackers will have no way of escaping those bullets. But talking about it, talking about the second half itself, we do see L2K winning 2 defending rounds, putting them in 5-3. All they need is 2 more rounds to win against Clickbait. I mean, the same thing can be said to Clickbait though. I mean, they also need 2 more rounds to equalize the round. It's just the only difference is how will they do it. The amount of shotguns being used to try to take out one, and Nos with the spawn peak taking out Teddy Eye right from the spawn of Junkyard. Oh boy, not a good day for Teddy Eye though, because that is the hard breach gone down. No more of Excaro spells being used either to make line of sight or even open up a hard breached wall. Although there is Noxy, the only problem is he needs to place the breach charge and detonate it so that he'll be able to open up lines of sight. Although it will be much of a difficult situation here, and that difficulty will start to increase here. Fatals with the SMG-11 claims the life of Luxia. Not quite sure what exactly happened here. Less information, less amount of drone work from Team Clickbait is exactly what is happening as of now. Now, Blank is still currently into a second floor. The attackers haven't got the control of kids just yet, and looks like Zam and Super King is doing their work just about now. Super King almost close into his games room. Needs to be careful of 2 lines of sight, which will be Nos and Blank, in which both of them are holding from their respective angle. And talking about it, Nos will win one, Blank gets the other, and with it, Noxy will be the last man standing. With the diffuser in hand, no drones, all by himself. He has his trusty gun and also his claymores to make sure that he might be able to get a kill, but in order to make that work, he needs to just place it. And Mellow will just immediately take it out with the Alda and get a flawless round. L2K winning round 9 as they will be the one winning first floor meeting and kitchen, and also get match point against Team Clickbait as we proceed to round 10, where the site will be on second floor kids. I mean, it is second floor kids because they did, however, succeed winning on basement laundry and first floor meeting and kitchen. So the viable option for the defenders to pick would be on second floor kids. Although good gunplays coming in from blank and also fatals using that vertical lines of sight to take out Luxia from surprise shouldn't have happened in the first place. It would have been better to just go for those drone works, in which both of those drone works was destroyed from thermite. So he was the only thing he could have done is to just open up walls in which he couldn't give much more of a support as of either, because the team on clickbait started losing a lot of teams in the started losing a lot of players. I do apologize, saying teams instead of players. Yeah, losing players in the early rounds itself, forcing them to be in a 3v5 or a 2v5 situation. He couldn't do much. Noxy couldn't do much at a situation like this. But talking about L2K, they're always strong as ever. Team Clickbait still has a chance. They just need to make sure that they won't make those mistakes again. I mean, knowing that, winning first floor meeting and kitchen will give L2K a huge morale boost, though. But for Clickbait, they just needs to hang on. They just needs to make sure that they just don't lose hope.
That is certainly what Clickbait needs to look at right now. They cannot afford to lose hope here. They certainly could win this match. They need to apply themselves just a little bit more, especially towards the late game. That was their main issue on all the 3 rounds of attack that they have taken and unfortunately not won so far. TEC going to drone himself into Big Tower in the meanwhile, but Nos isn't even there. He's all the way out towards Small Tower, a different part of the map, as he could go for a big play should he want to, a run out or two. And the side of Live to Kill are really just sitting pretty at this point. They are just waiting for this match to end, if you will. You can see that there's no urgency in their playstyle. They don't want to be too aggressive. They don't want to, jeopardize their chances of winning the game itself. Again, you don't quite want to do that if your aim is to get to Division 1, but Clickbait, they will need to fight back just a little harder. Should they lose this, then I'm pretty sure they will lose all chances of getting into Division well, not getting into Division 1, but staying in Div 2 in its entirety. That is the chance that they need to preserve right now, as Super King is going to go for an all-out fire through that kid's drums window. Not going to get anything off of that. However, Nos is going to hear the Hibana just walking in to Attic. I'm not sure if that's advisable, given that Nos is still out here on the roam. He's actually falling back as well. Clickbait are slowly getting closer and closer to side as TEC has made his way very, very close. He needs to watch his back, mind you. But he could find a Malusi right there. Not quite. Sees the smoke. The gas canister goes out. He's going to give the call. His teammates will be safe for the time being, as he's going to watch his back as well. Knows that there's a good chance of somebody going for the flank, and Noxy in the meanwhile, I think he wants to get the breach done. I think he got impact checked. Well, that's a little unfortunate, as he will try again, but a second attempt could come out, and it will, but that's not going to work. JV, he's going to fall instead, as he went for the impact check, got taken down, a couple of kills, and that's L2K at the disadvantage at the 50-second mark. TEC has come and made his work, as Super King is the only one to fall. In the meanwhile, Nos gets taken down, and that could have been a trade, potentially. That was between Nos and Zam, but that's important for the side of Clickbait, because they have lost the Jaeger on the roam, so no retake is possible, and now it's all going to be down to Fatals and Mellow. One of whom is going to get a kill. That's a double for him. Finding the Hibana. That's TEC off the board now. Nox, and Luxia have to make this work. One coming up white stairs, the other on towards Trophy. The Barber is giving away the position for the Ash, and Mellow will peek and win that. And now it's all down to Noxy again. He finds himself in these 1vx situations, but this is definitely possible. All he has, though, are a few seconds left. He needs to get in there, and he needs to make this play, but both the defenders are content with hiding. He's gone into Attic, but he doesn't have time. Live to Kill held against everything being presented to them, and they, rather, will be the ones to win the match. Unfortunate for Team Clickbait, as they could have had a great underdog story, but as we've said time and time again, that late round is where they get punished. and they could not at least seem to adapt out of it in this match, unfortunately for them. But of course, it's a 7-3 victory to the side of Live to Kill, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, we are actually done with all the matches of the night. We had a interesting first game in a first stream earlier this evening between Jiravuya and Red Vipers. I think, describing it verbally won't exactly do it justice here. So I suggest, viewers, once this stream is done, go back and check out that match, because that match was quite interesting and certainly a lot less straight laced than this match itself was. This match, of course, we were sort of rooting for Clickbait to come up with an underdog story, but unfortunately all of our narrative setups didn't quite do justice to what was about to happen. Live to Kill were the ones to win, and they win 7-3. And we were looking at it just a little bit more in Relive the Moment, going live on your screens in a short while. And we'll talk about where Clickbait went wrong right now, in fact, as the Relive the Moment is live. Baba, take it away.
Well, to start it off, it's going to be Team L2K on attack. And talking about it, they did went hand in hand, especially Luxia though, changing some strategies, especially in the first run where he did try to go very aggressive for that bullet hole spawn peak. Did find the information, unfortunately couldn't get that perfect connect. Whereas Mello was the one who keeps shutting Luxia down time and time again. And also, from L2K, they didn't had any problems dealing with their attack phases at all. The only problem is that most of the time they wouldn't find, yeah, we wouldn't see a player from L2K looking for flank watch. There isn't any drones to look for flanks, and also no air jabs from the Nomad being brought up. Although they had claymores, I believe they placed claymore at a certain locations, but the defender would just easily caught up to them and just immediately take it out, and then just slowly make their way. Although the bullet shot would give away their positioning, in which L2K would have figured out to find a solution, but unfortunately some of the pushes that made from Team Clickbait did succeed, due to which of a successful recovery from the flanks, in which Teddy did make time and time again, twice and thrice. They did, however, make it into a 3-3, and L2K suddenly just turn their volume from 0 to 100 in the second half itself, winning all defense rounds. Four defending rounds, winning all the sites on second floor kids, laundry, even on meeting and kitchen. And also a good attempt from Teddy in round 5, where he just had to find two more players. Unfortunately, less amount of information did give him the loss, and also Blank knowing exactly where his positioning is after Teddy went for that shot. They L2K had no problems dealing with Clickbait's style of attack. Although in defense there had a bit of a problems. Nos didn't have any problems at all while he was on attack though, going full aggressive, getting 2 kills. Most of the time he always gets triple kill or double kills. It goes hand in hand, but still all L2K had to do was to just target Teddy, eliminate Teddy, and it did work out well. That's basically that's all I can say for now. L2K, a really good team when it comes to holding on defense, especially on a map like Oregon, and also a bit of attack where they just have to focus on making sure that they have flank watches, making sure that they have drones to get to have information at what time the defenders are going for a flank. And yeah, other than that, Team L2K had no problem when it comes to their attack phase.
Overall, I'd say this match, Clickbait will have learned more from this than Live to Kill did, obviously. And going into Division 3 next season, Clickbait will try to make amends to their playstyle as they attempt again to be top in a different division. Now, I won't say that it's absolutely impossible. There's like a slim 1% chance, shall we say, of Team Clickbait still staying in Div 2. It's certainly not impossible, and we will talk about that as soon as we get the standings up. But well, overall, I guess we're not getting a we're not getting a standings on stream particularly, but Clickbait unfortunately will still be at the bottom of the table. Now they have to aim to try and get 6 points for themselves. If they do, nah, actually, even if they do, there's no chance for them to stay in Division 2, ladies and gents. I was just looking at it. The lowest that they have to get is 9 points, because Dauntless is sitting at 9 in fifth position. Throws Syndicate and Red Vipers are 3 each. just above Team Clickbait. In that order as well. So unfortunate, but looks like Team Clickbait, we will be seeing you in Division 3 once again next season. We do hope to see a good showing from you guys tomorrow with more Division 2 action, the final Division 2 action set on this season, ladies and gents, as we'll be saying good night for tonight and coming back tomorrow with more Siege action. That has been it for myself, Blackjack, my co-host Bob Gusta, and our match host Tyson, as we'll be back tomorrow with more Division 2 action, the last day of Div 2. And before we go, Season 5 registrations are still live. Link is in the description below. Head on over to the Esports Club. Check us out. Make sure that even if you're a solo player or a team, get yourselves registered. Be in the thick of the action for one last time. We will see you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned and good night.